the question is that the ADC doesn't have members in the FCT or what? Or that their members are not registered in FCT? I was wondering, why is it that the ADC did not win one area council, at least to register their presence that they are coming and they can bite and they have the capability, they are building up that by 2027 they're going to do something bigger. So with what happened now, how do you think that ADC, that they have the capability, that they have the strength, the muscle to be able to wrestle this power from APC? Do you think so? Because there's nothing to show in these area councils in Abuja. Does this simply mean that what APC is preaching is what it is? That Nigeria is now one party state where only APC will dominate everywhere. Is it what it is? If the area council election, ADC could not bite, is it in the general election that they will not bite? So that shows you that there's a problem. So we need to figure out what this problem is. Obedience, are you guys no more with Peter Obi? Or you guys do not like ADC that as a party where he joined? Or that you guys don't like the candidate himself? Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is Andy Media TV. Yesterday, being the 21st of February 2026, there was area council election, that took place in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, in Nigeria. You may recall that Abuja, being the capital of Nigeria, has 6 area councils. It's not a state, basically, but it's like a state. So it doesn't have local government areas like we have in other 36 states of Nigeria. So in FCT, you have area councils, and there are 6 of them, namely Kwali, Abaji, Gwagwalada, Abuja Municipal Area Council, known as AMAC. You have Kuje Area Council, and you also have the Bwari Area Council. So there are 6 of them. According to the result, published by INEC concerning the area council election, it was announced that the All Progressive Congress, the APC, took hold of 5 of the area councils. They won, Kwali, Abaji, Kuje, Bwari, and AMAC, right? While the PDP won Gwagwalada Area Council. So APC has 5/6, of the area council that was contested as per the chairmanship position. Don't forget there are also councilorship, election, that took place. But I think under the councilorship election, it was kind of divided in some cases where some other, parties won some of the seats, in the councilorship, position. But majorly, I'm looking at basically the, the chairmanship here, because that's where there was a whole lot of kind of contention in terms of who is going to control, the FCT structure, the local structure. So, be it as it may, I saw, from the election result that it was quite appalling, what the result looks like, in the sense that, the people that voted for these candidates were far, lesser than the number of people that were registered in those, different polling units. So it's kind of flagging that there is a voter apathy already. And you know what can cause voter apathy when people don't believe in the system. So we're going to look at all of this and what I'm able to understand and picture, from what happened in that area council election. And then we can place it lopsidedly with what we are looking forward to see in 2027 general election. So it can be like a test case, can be like a case study to see, how INEC performed, to look at, the conduct of the election, itself, how the players, conducted themselves during the election. And we look at all of this in this conversation. So guys, just put on your seatbelt, and then we're going to have some little chat on what we observe, going on in that went on in the just concluded the area council election in the FCT. So before I go into details to look at into all these key areas that I've pointed out, please, if you are new to my channel, kindly like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel and put on the notification bell so that when my next new video drop, you'll be among those that will be notified. It's important for you to get this information as it is hot. Okay, having said this, let's look at the things I've picked up, that happened during that election. First and foremost, I was worried because looking at the number of voters that were registered in those polling booths, polling units, and then looking at the number of accredited voters that day of the election, then you will see a wide gap, between the registered voters and those, who came out to vote. And it's just similar thing across the 6 area council. I think it's just one of the area council or 2 of them that recorded like high, voter turnout, but others, it was very, very poor. So when you are looking at declaring somebody winner with 16,000 votes in an area council, then that tells you a lot. So I think one observation I can picture from this whole stuff is that there is voter apathy already in the FCT. And what may be the probable cause of this voter apathy problem? So I think when you look at what just transpired, between the citizens and the National Assembly, is one of the key reasons why you can see that many people, don't come out to participate in the election, because probably they don't believe in the system. They believe that their vote will not count at the end of the day. So they now ask themselves, what's the point? Why should I go there, spend the whole of my hours, standing there on the queue? At the end of the day, my vote will not count. So this is one of the reasons why many people were not there. And I think it was the first time, because I've been in Abuja for decades, and I can't recall when there is area council election that they declare, no movement on that day. I've not heard of that before, but in this one, it came to be that they declared there will be no, movement of people on the, the day of the election, on the 21st February 2026. And was something that was unique in terms of how these area council elections were conducted. So, having said that, I think the action of the National Assembly per se is one of the contributory factor to this when you compare to what has been happening in the past. All right. So when people don't have confidence in the system, then they will decide not to participate because they don't believe what the outcome will be. They are not sure what the outcome will be. But if they believe that their vote will count, they would have trooped out the mass to support and vote for their candidate. So that might be one of the key elements that caused this voter apathy issue, that happened. So you may recall that there was a whole lot of, back and forth between the citizens and the National Assembly when they were doing review of the 2022 Electoral Act. The citizens want them to put that clause that results of the election after the Form EC8A have been filled and signed by, the party agents and the electoral officer and stamped, that document will be scanned and uploaded at that polling unit in real time, at that polling unit to the IREF. So remember, it was a very serious issue that people have to protest for that for some days. And the National Assembly decided that they will do what they want to do, not what the people they claim to represent ask them to do. So if the citizens want that, what is the big deal for them not putting it, as they want it in the electoral law? In their own wisdom, they decided that what they're going to put in there is that they're going to create, a way out for INEC and for themselves, the politicians, in the sense that they now put in there that the result will be transmitted electronically. But if there is no network, they will transmit it manually. And these guys, they are aware of INEC report that they have conducted some, tests, of what their system can do, the capability of their system. And they confirmed that INEC has at least between 93 to 96% capability to upload results electronically across the country. So areas where they may have a little bit challenges may be just like maybe 4%, 5% or thereabout, which is quite minute. All right. So, but since they did this, study, I think some years ago, till now, they're supposed to have improved infrastructure in those areas that fall within those, 5% or 6% or thereabout. So, but they didn't do that. But you can, because of, when you are trying to draw conclusion or draw inference based on this kind of study that has 93, 94 to 95% of success, then you have a very quality and good result, right? So, but they decided to jettison all those information and to do what they feel will help them to rig the election. And based on that, Nigerian citizens lost confidence in the National Assembly, lost confidence in the process. And to make it even worse, the moment they transmit the bill to the executive to sign, the president signed it within 24 hours. That's the fastest bill the president have ever signed. So when you look at all those things and looking at what the president said the day he was signing the bill, talking things that I can't really understand. When they say a lot of stuff trying to protect themselves, they don't know that they are indicting themselves. If a president of a country can be telling you that there is no network, that's ridiculous. Why are you there? Why do you have Ministry of Science and Technology? Why do you have Ministry of Communication? That is the point. So you have, all these networks in Nigeria. Why is MTN answering everywhere you go? It's because your network is virtually everywhere across the country. And these same guys claim that they sent, conditional cash transfer to indigent Nigeria in remote areas through bank transfer. How did they do that transfer? How did those people get this, peanut that they sent to them, 5,000 or 10,000, whatever amount they sent to them? How? Is it not the same structure? Is it not the same network? Is it not the same? And don't forget that even INEC made it clear that their platform, their system, the IREF was designed to work both online and offline. That is to say, when you send in your document, assuming there's no network, you press and send, the document goes but he will be hanging, hovering until when he gets access to network, he uploads completely. Just like everyone else does. When you are downloading a document on your phone, it will be downloaded. The moment you are out of network range, it stops downloading and hang pending. The moment you get into where there is network, the document downloads completely. As simple as that. That's how IREV work. So the issue of no network they are claiming has nothing to do with this whole thing. All they decide to do is to create a loophole or a window through which they can rig this election. So it simply means that the electoral officer can say, oh, there's no network here. I can't send this thing electronically to IREV. When I get to the collation center, we do it. By then, they manipulate the result at the collation center and then scan that one that they change in the collection center and upload that one, not what happened in the polling unit. And secondly, this arrangement can create chaos in the polling unit, that even the life of the electoral officer will be in danger, because when people stampede him and say, you must upload this result now, it can create chaos, can create a whole lot of things. Before you know it, they start hitting people, fighting, and people may die. They didn't think of all these things. So the life of these guys are at risk. Even if you put security operatives there, they are not with guns, because they can't be in the polling unit with guns. So even the security agencies that are there can be overwhelmed by the crowd of people when they are desperate, trying to see that their vote counts. So these are part of the dangers National Assembly has created unknowingly to them, thinking that they are smart. And when you look at the audacity of these National Assembly members, how arrogantly they speak, you wonder. Imagine the Senate president calling Nigerians noisemakers because they came to protest that this is what they want. And they themselves claim that they are the representatives of the people. And the person, it's just like, you have an account in the bank and you give somebody power of attorney to act on your behalf. In as much as the person has your authority to act on your behalf, there are decisions he cannot take on his own. He has to consult you. You have to tell the person what to do because he's working for you. He's working on your behalf. So he cannot just do things unilaterally. He must take, permissions from you to do certain things he needs to do, right? So now this is the case. We just gave these people power and say, go to Abuja, represent us, do what we want. And they agreed and they went there. And now we are telling them, this is what we want. They say, no, they will do what they want. So these are the issues causing this voter apathy. Assuming that they did exactly what the people say, you would have seen massive turnout, because people will know if they spend 5 hours, 8 hours at the polling unit, that there is the effort they are making will count. But no. So this is one of the things you can consider when it comes to voter, apathy. So people don't want to waste their time because they don't trust the system. They don't believe in the system. They don't believe in INEC. They don't believe in the law. They don't believe in the court. That even if you go to court, that you will get justice. So these are part of the problems that we are seeing today. So having looked at this area of voter apathy, the probable cause, especially based on the recent development of the 2026 Electoral Act that was signed into law recently, something came up. Because from the little research I did, I saw that there are people complaining about voter intimidation, and stuff like that. And that was because the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, was seen at the polling unit, going from some polling unit to the other. So people were like, there's curfew. Nobody is supposed to move out. His job is supposed to be, if his voter's card is registered in FCT, he should just go to the polling unit where he's registered and vote and go home. He can speak to the press, go home. But he's not an electoral umpire. He's not among the election observers and all that. So why is he moving from polling unit to polling unit? And people were like, no, there's an order that there will be no movement. So if there's no vehicular movement, why is he moving? Because his polling unit is supposed to be a trackable distance from where he lives. If he wants to vote, if he's registered in Abuja to vote, if he has transferred his voting powers from River State to Abuja, then it should be a walking distance for him. So I've seen people complain of that. Okay, and now the issue of vote buying was also brought up, that people, I even saw some videos, even people were there on their own saying they will not vote. They are waiting for who will buy their vote, who will pay them to vote for them. So it's really a crazy situation. When citizens are not the one looking for buyers of their vote, then there's problem. Yes, there's hunger in the land, there's hardship in the country, there's a whole lot of economic problems in the country. But that's not why somebody will voluntarily come out and be asking who will buy his or her vote. That's ridiculous. And when they give him or her 5,000 naira, okay, and she votes for that party, and that party goes in and continue to do policies that continue to toughen the system, the same person will come to be complaining and blaming the government. So this is where this accountability problem is on the part of the citizens and also on the part of the government. Because it makes no sense for somebody to be selling his or her vote for a peanut. You are selling your birthright for the person to go there for 4 years and loot the country, and you will be complaining and crying. That is ridiculous. So the question remains, where was the EFCC At least EFCC headquarters is in Abuja. They're supposed to have covered the whole 6 area council, at least major part of the polling booths, to identify and arrest those who are selling their votes, because it's against the law. But where are they? We didn't see anybody that was arrested for vote buying, but there were incidents of vote buying. I think 2 major area councils were mentioned, Bwari and Gwagwalada or something like that. Yeah, I think Gwagwalada and Bwari was, kind of flagged as places where there were this kind of, incidents. Then another significant thing that happened in this election was that people were complaining that their polling booths, their polling stations, right, were changed just like that, and they were not notified early. So people goes to polling booth A, where they were registered ab initio to vote. By the time they get there, they check the list. They say their names are not in the list, so that they have been transferred to a different polling unit, which is far from where they live. So, and there's no vehicular movement. How will they now transport themselves to go to that place to go and vote? So those guys were disenfranchised. That is it. So when you look at that, you keep wondering why. If there is a transfer of polling booth or transfer of people from one polling booth to a new different polling booth, this information is supposed to have been passed months ago, so that people will be able to identify their new polling booth and make arrangements on how to go there to vote. So some people would have gone in a day ahead in those locations to be able to vote if they want to vote. Or they can make alternative arrangements on how to find themselves in that place, knowing fully well there will be no movement. So these are part of the problem. So why will INEC move people from their initial polling booth to a different polling booth without informing them ahead of time? They were just notified within less than 24 hours. Some even found out on that day when they came to vote. Then I had some of them saying that their name was found there on the documentation, but they were asked that they cannot vote there, that where they are supposed to vote is a different voting booth. So these kind of problems that came up on that day. So I don't know how this whole thing happened. I don't know how INEC got to that point. What INEC normally do is, ahead of election, they will publish the voter register of each polling unit. They paste it on the wall, so people can go ahead of time to go and cross-check their names and stuff like that. So I don't know, they didn't do it ahead. They just pasted that in a day or so to the election, which is late for people to make decisions and choices. So some people were disenfranchised, and that is the reason why you are looking at the number of votes that the winner had to become the winner. It's only I think AMAC or thereabout that has about 40,000 votes. All right, the person was the incumbent chairman, so he just won the election. Is only AMAC that has 40,000 votes. Other area councils has maximum of 17,000 votes as winner and below, 17,000, 16,000, 15,000, 14,000, and something like that. So when you look at it, you will see winning an area council that has certain number of population, that even have more number of accredited voters, and we are winning by 16,000. If you add other votes of other parties that contested that didn't win and add it to the winner's vote, you will see that the percentage of valid vote was kind of very poor. So now you can see many people were disenfranchised in this process, and I hope INEC fix their house in order so that in 2027, what happened in this issue of polling booth movement will not happen in the main general election in 2027, because many people won't take it. They're going to create chaos that day. People will scatter venues on that day. Then we had the report of many people not kind of setting up on time. When the voters came there, nothing was happening. There was no even sign that INEC is about to conduct election in those polling units. So we don't know what happened to INEC. INEC headquarters is in Abuja there. So I don't know why logistics will be coming there very late before they set up and stuff like that. So these are part of the things that need to be reviewed and then rebuilt, so that in the next coming election, INEC should be able to be up and running and do what is proper and do their things rightly. Okay, so if they have a headquarters in Abuja and in December Abuja, they are starting late, then there's a problem. This one is not that they are conveying the electoral materials far away. No, it's within the same federal capital territory. So these are part of the things that were observed in that election. I saw a case of a policeman that was alleged that came to the polling unit with electoral material that's already been done, and the INEC official, I think is the NYSC official that is working for INEC, was able to kind of swap what the officer brought, and a lot of allegations and stuff like that. I saw the video, where all these things were happening and people were shouting and complaining and stuff like that. So I don't know, but I think our election should go beyond this kind of drama. But one thing I can conclude on this is that I didn't hear or had any report of ballot box snatching and stuff like that. I didn't hear anything like that. So, but that's quite good. At least if we can take up violence in our elections, then we can be battling about rigging and stuff like that. Then that will be fair enough. But for now, I think there's quite a whole lot for INEC to study on what happened in the area council election, to be able to work on them, improve on them, so that in the next subsequent election, we won't be having this kind of challenges coming up right there. And I think the uploading of result worked in this election, because I heard that about 90-something% of the election was already uploaded in IREV from what I was following up that yesterday. So since like there was quite a good success rate, but there are some areas I saw voter talking about glitch and all that. I don't know. Yakub Mahmoud has given us a name, glitch. So people just talk about that glitch in so area council. What exactly is the glitch? Nobody told us. Mahmoud Yakub, who brought that word glitch in the election, didn't explain to us what that glitch is all about till today. African Democratic Congress, the ADC, they came out to tell us that they are the alternative, they are the body of individual that came together that want to wrestle power from the APC and stuff like that. They told us that we should trust them, believe in them, that they're going to wrestle this power from ADC, from APC. But looking at the area council election alone, 6 area council, ADC did not win one. I don't know if they even won any councilorship. I don't know about councilorship, but looking at the 6 area council, they did not win one. Just like even PDP that was in comatose was able to even win one of the area councils. However, that Gwagwalada and the Bwari were the 2, area council that was flagged as area they did vote by. So I don't know, but that's what I read, from the publishing, companies and all that. So the issue here is that, is ADC really the alternative? Because they did not show their muscle. They did not show what they can do in this area council election. They did not bite at all in this area council election. Because if they do, at least they would have won at least one of the area council to register their presence that they are coming. I know they are just newly formed and they are still rebuilding. They are trying to, build their structure and all that. But I know that they are key players. That P2B is always, in Abuja, in as much as he's based in Onitsha. Atiku is also in Abuja. David Mark, just name them. They are top guys. Araba Shola, the Balaji Abdullahi, all of these top guys in APC. Most of the senators who also, the camp like Victor Ume, Abaribe, and the rest of them. So they are all based in Abuja. And I know that they have their team, even their family alone. If they put all their family together and they came to vote in AMAC for their candidate that they campaigned for, their numbers would have gone up. All right. So the question is, why is it that the ADC doesn't have members in the FCT or what? Or that their members are not registered in FCT? So I don't know how to, because I was just thinking through this whole thing and I was wondering, why is it that the ADC did not win one area council, at least to register their presence that they are coming and they can bite and they have the capability, they are building up that by 2027, they're going to do something bigger. So with what happened now, how do you think that ADC, that they have the capability, that they have the strength, the muscle to be able to wrestle this power from APC? Do you think so? Because there's nothing to show in these area councils in Abuja. So what is going on? They have members in Abuja as well. Abuja is the headquarters of every party, basically. So what happened? Why didn't they win any seat? Why didn't they show presence? The one that contested in AMAC, their candidate, I think it was about 12,000 something votes, less than 13,000 votes or thereabout, that he garnered. So, and that was, I think the guy P2B and the rest of them was, supporting and following all around during campaign. So what happened? What happened? So I'm wondering, does this simply mean that what APC is preaching is what it is? That Nigeria is now one party state, where only APC will dominate everywhere. Is it what it is? If that's what it is, why are they registering new parties? They could have just, abolished other parties, and we know that we have one party state. Because apart from PDP winning one chairmanship position in the FCT, no any other party was able to do anything. So it's APC that took over 5 out of 6. So yeah, I know APC is the one in power in the FCT. I know all of that. But the question is, if the area council election, ADC could not bite, is it in the general election that they will not bite? Where most of the people, most of the APC members across the entire country. So, and don't forget that when P2B was in Labour Party during the 2022 presidential election, he won the FCT fair and square, even in the villa where the president decided they won in the polling booth in the villa. Where are all those people? Is it that the obedience are no more with him? Is it that the obedience does not like the candidate that they are supporting? So what exactly is happening? So these are the questions I've been throwing around my head, trying to phantom or figure out exactly what transpired that made ADC not to even get one chairmanship position in Abuja. To be one FCT, one presidential villa polling booth. So what happened? If he's supporting that candidate, I believe that if Obedient has stayed at his back, they will also support the ADC candidate that is supported. Or is it that the Obedient does not like the ADC as a party? This may be the issues, because many Nigerians see ADC as the same group of people who has kept Nigeria where they are. Check it. Most of them have been in power, either as minister or senator. David Mark was former Senate president for how many times? Then Rahul Alebosarawa has been governor before he has been minister. Bolaji Abdullahi has been minister. Peter Obi was governor, and then he was vice presidential candidate and presidential candidate. Then when you look at their resumes, you see that most of these people have been in government before, and still they are back telling us they will be the Messiah. So the question I'm asking is very simple. Either is ADC a lone wolf that doesn't have support base? Because that is what I'm trying to figure out. If Obedience are behind ADC, they would have been behind more that contested for, is it AMAC area council under ADC? They would have been behind the Municipal or something like that. Would have been behind more. But Mo didn't win, and it was far below the margin. The person that won, the APC guy that won the AMAC, it was far below that margin. Not even half of the vote. So that shows you that there's a problem. So we need to figure out what this problem is. Obedience, are you guys no more with P2B? Or you guys does not like ADC that as a party where he joined? Or that you guys don't like the candidate himself? But I know that Mo has been with P2B even when he was in Labour Party. So the journey is not today. So what actually is the correct answer in this question? That's what I would like to hear in my comment section. So guys, anyone that knows the answer to this, please kindly put it at the comment section. We need to figure out what really happened that ADC did not even clinch any of the area council election this 2026. So it's very important that we figure this out, because whatever you can understand in what happened in this area council election can help to pre-plan for 2027 and to know what's going to happen in 2027 general election. So be it as it may, if we follow what happened in the area council election in Abuja, we'll conclude that 2027 is already won by the APC. It is what it is, because 5 out of 6 area councils, and then the same machinery they will use across the country, and that's what it is. They have about 30 or 31 governors already. In as much as, for me, every governor has 1 vote. The only thing they can do is controlling the structure, do the needful to mobilize those people to support them and vote. But I don't know how politics works, to be honest, because for me, if you are leading me and I'm suffering, struggling, and nothing is working within the same environment where you are leading me, there's no way I'm going to support you in the next one. It doesn't matter what you are speaking, because there's nobody, go and check globally, who is even the worst president on earth, that will come out and tell the world that he is the worst president, that he knows his policies are not working. There's none. They will always tell you it's working, government is doing well, but when you start drilling down to find out where is the government working, what well is government doing, can you tell us the result of the things you have done? That's where you have problem with them. The next thing, they find a way to shut you down. So it has been like that. So the government will always tell you their things are working, politics are working, this, that. But the question is, any government that his policies, programs, and projects is not changing the lives of the people, is not improving the lives of the people, then there is problem with that government. That is the honest truth, because the essence of government is to protect lives and property and to improve the welfare of the citizen. These are the 2 key elements. But in this same country we are in Nigeria, insecurity is beyond control. As we speak, people are kidnapped at will. So the government is failing when it comes to security. Then welfare, go and check the number of unemployed people in Nigeria now. Go and check the number of people who are falling below poverty line from what it was in not even 2015, 2023 that Bwari left. Go and check between 2023 and now, how many people are falling into poverty. So when you look at all these indices, that's where you begin to draw conclusion. Is this government really working or not? Forget about propaganda. It's not issue of propaganda. It's issue of reality. Because before now, if you are earning 100K a month, you are okay. You can still take care of yourself. But today, as we speak, if you are earning 500K a month, you cannot even transport yourself to work for a month by the cost of transportation today. Not to talk about food and other things. So these are the things. So the value of the currency has gone bad, that even if you have it, you buy few things with it. So these are part of the issues. So when they say governors are getting more money, it's the same problem. The project they did with 2 billion in 2022, today the same project they will be doing it with 7 billion or 6 billion. It is what it is. So that's the problem. So more money but no value. But before, small money but much value. So that's the problem. But people are not understand. They will keep telling you their governor is receiving more money. Go your governor accountable. Them in the federal are also receiving more money. What are they doing? How many roads are good? During Christmas, you saw what happened. People trapped. They can't, travel home because of bad roads. Are we talking about power? I watched a video. Even that day of election in Abuja yesterday, there's no power. So when you look at all these problems, if there is power, why would the Aso Villa, presidential villa, be moving to solar? Why? Because there's no power, and there is power grid failure often and on. So they want to separate themselves from that failure, and they invested taxpayers' money to take care of themselves. Why taxpayers will now be languishing in darkness? So these are the things we are talking about. What we want is somebody who can come in, feel the pain of the citizens, and do great policies, programs, and projects that can start solving the problems of the people. That's what we are looking for. That's what we want. So if this government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu can look at their policies, review it, and do it in such a manner that the impact will start showing on the lives of the people, at least on the short term, let the outcome on the short term begin to reflect in the lives of the people. Then you will see how people will vote APC. People don't care about the party. People are looking for who can do what will benefit the people, what will change their life. That's what people want. If Tinubu can start taking care of internal roads now, federal roads, if you are traveling from Anambra to Enugu, the roads are good because it's federal road. They have tarred it, and nobody will complain about his government. So if people can switch on their light on daily basis and they have power, at least 18 hours a day, even if they don't have 24 hours, people will not be complaining too much. If people can go to market and buy something cheaper, they won't be complaining. If people can graduate from university and get a job, if people can travel from Abuja to Okene without being kidnapped, people will not be complaining. They will support Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So anybody deceiving him should let him know that what people care about is not about APC, it's not about Bola Ahmed. What people care about is about him doing things that can change their life. So let him target those key things. Improve security. Let people travel freely without being afraid that their vehicle may be kidnapped by somebody. That is what people want. And let them listen to the people all the time. This arrogancy of the National Assembly, that they don't care about what people are saying, they don't care about people, they even use degrading words on the people, calling Nigerians noisemakers, that they must do what they want to do. Then that's a problem. So listen to the people and do what will help the people to survive and succeed in their country. That's what we're talking about. I'm not a politician, but they forgot that the electronic mandatory transmission of result that Nigerians were clamoring for is for their own interest. Many Nigerians are not politicians. They are not contesting an election. They are the ones that will go to court. And that is where that mandatory transmission will help them to push their case in court to win. But they don't know. They think they are witch hunting Nigerians. They are witch hunting themselves. Because that rule, they are setting that rule for their game, not for the game of the citizens. So at the end of the day, whatever they do in that law will catch up with them when the time comes. So we'll watch out. We'll see what will happen in 2027 when the election will be done and concluded. Those that will go to court, we will see what plays out in court. Anyway, guys, this is where I'm going to leave it. I don't know what you think about this whole stuff. If you have anything to contribute on this matter, please kindly put it on the comment section, and then we'll continue to talk and debate on them. So as I leave the stage, if you are new to my channel, please kindly like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel and put on your notification bell so that when my next new video drop, you will be among those that will be notified. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate your support to this channel. I'll see you in my next video. Do have a wonderful day. I'm signing out. See ya.